That ain't good enough for me. Come on. Where y'all at? Man, look at your neighbor and say, you are the prettiest one in this room, or you're the hottest one in this room. I just hooked somebody up. Y'all been wanting to tell them forever. You're welcome. Man, I am so thankful to be here. Pastor Gregory and Jackie. Man, I'm going to tell you, I don't know anybody more loving on this planet. And Allison and Jeff and all my new friends on the front row. Y'all some Batman pajamas. You know, don't you, I'm the type of person that like, I can smell fake. Anybody else? And it just feels so good to be able to come in. They take me to their house. I lay on their couch. They fix me food. And y'all, I lost 35 pounds. Am I doing good? So I lost all my back boobs. Remember last year we talked about back boobs? Them back boobs went bye-bye. But if I stay here with the popes, them back boobs gonna come back. I said the only thing back boobs are good for is slow dancing. Yo, honey, yo, bow, chicken, wow. Got something to hold on to. That's the only thing those back boobs are good for. You know what I'm saying? And then I hit 40. Anybody else hit 40? Anybody else 40 years old in here? Y'all, you guys don't even understand. Because of Eve. If Eve would have stayed in her doggone lane. Like apples ain't even good without peanut butter. And because of Eve's disobedience, something starts happening to us women at 40. All you that ain't got 40, y'all better eat all the Big Macs you want. I mean, when I hit 40 years old, all of a sudden I'm laying on the couch and it's like, I'm not even sitting on the couch eating bonbons, scratching my behind. I'm literally not doing anything different than I did the rest of my life. But all of a sudden, everything starts going north. And then I woke up one day and I had this thing right here. What the heck is that? Like you men are like, I don't know, but you women get it. We don't wear short sleeve no more. Even my product line, all my t-shirts are longer because this thing right here, it starts sagging. I'm like, what is this good for? It's like, oh, you got to be careful because if you're not careful, it'll give you a black eye. It just starts swinging in the wind. And the only thing this thing is good for, it doesn't cover your heart. It's not protecting anything. The only thing it's good for is if you get an American flag tattooed on July the 4th, you can be like, what? So I am Real Talk Kim. I am so honored to be here, and I love this church. They love me here. My brother used to always say, Kim, whenever you get invited twice, you made it. Once is good, but if you can go back again. So now I live to make sure that I'm making Jesus proud. When they ask me back, I'm like, boom, shaka, like a, boom, boom, boom. Now I've been back 4 times, so thank you, boos. I love y'all. My scripture tonight, the sermon title that I'm going with tonight is called Moving in the Mess. Moving in the mess. How many people feel like you're going through something right now that you literally walked it? Come on, don't lie, because going to hell on a slip and slide if you lie. This is a auditorium full of a bunch of broken people. This is a bunch of, we did some of y'all done came to church tonight, the whole way here. You've been screaming at your husband. And you walked up in here and Deacon said, how you doing? You're like, blessed and highly favored. And the whole time he's singing, Waymaker, miracle. You're going, he is an idiot if he thinks I'm cooking for him at all this week. Miracle worker, promise. Because we are so awesome about faking it, never making it. You know what I'm talking about? Like everybody in our house knows what we're going through. And everybody in the church thinks we all that in a bag of chips while your marriage is going to hell on a slip and slide. And you ain't even sleeping together. Your husband's in the guest room and he ain't got a clue why he in the guest room, but he didn't notice your hair. Or he was looking at that person in church and I knew he was cheating on me, because you're bleeding on people that never cut you. Because you're walking through life and you're eating your emotions and you're mad at yourself and you're walking through life and you're making everybody else pay, and he ain't never done nothing to you, boo. He ain't done nothing but work hard and be there. But what happens is we walk through life bleeding on people that never cut us. And then because of society, Society has us like believing that everybody's an Instagram model. I mean, now we're even taking pictures on Instagram. Move it up, girl. Move it up. Move it up. Move it up. Just put the chips down, right? Like we get to a place where we're like, move that camera up, and we're flipping through Instagram, laying in our bed, trying to go to sleep, and it keeps hitting us in the face. And we're looking on Instagram, we're like, oh, dear Jesus, look at that girl. Let's go see how old she is. Oh, my God, she is 47. She looks 37. She must not have had any kids. Oh, my God, she's got 4. Oh, wait, she's got a boy, a girl, and a boy, and a girl. Oh, I got 5 girls trying to have a boy. God, you hate me. Oh, then the next day you catch her and she's got her little bambino in that beautiful little papoose. And she's sitting there juicing a juice, and she's juicing all of her meals, and her hair is flowing down her back, and that hair ain't even real, but you wish you had her hair. You're like, my hair is put up on top of you are so thankful that the bun is back in. Because you ain't fixed your hair. You have, listen, dry shampoo ain't shampoo. It's just not shampoo. We still see the white stuff in your hair. And you're sitting there looking, you're like, oh my God, like, oh. And little Johnny's running around with chicken nuggets hanging out of his mouth while she's cooking greens. And she's juicing every meal. And you're like, I would rather die than juice, because juicing is so hard to clean the doggone juicer. And so you're getting madder and madder as a minute goes by. She's the same age as you. She got a boy, girl. She just had 2 of her little boys, a boy and a girl. I mean, really? She just had it 2 weeks ago. She already putting pictures up. How dare her put pictures up of her at Destin Beach with a doggone bikini on, and you're still trying to get your little muffin top off of yourself from little Johnny that's 12. And then all of a sudden, I mean, you got baby weight. You were like me, eating for 3 and you only had 1. You like eating oatmeals with milk. You like eating the Oreos like cereal at night. And you did it, but we're mad, right? I was thinking, girl, I'm gonna pop this baby out. Now I'm gonna be like, snatch. Well, I am 47 years old, and I'm still trying to get my baby weight off for my 26-year-old. Oh, God. But then all of a sudden you're scanning through and you're like, oh my God, like she is doing everything just perfectly, because social media gives you highlight reels instead of reality. Because listen, Linda, you have such a calling on your life. No, she does, not me. She done everything right. I mean, last night you didn't feel like you're so stuck like Chuck because you're still following that girl and you're still looking. And last night you're all the way 47 weeks hoping to God you saw her with some kind of fat on her body. And then at 47 weeks, you accidentally hit the heart. You're like, ah, stalker alert. And then all of a sudden, today, how dare she put up a picture of her husband? He looks like he stepped out of a GQ. Yours looks like he stepped out of DQ. And you are mad. Why? Because the enemy knows he can't touch you. So where he gets you is wearing your butt out. How does he wear your butt out? With life pressures. And then we walk through life thinking that as we fall, you are walking around with secrets in your life. Anybody got secrets? Y'all like, girl, bye. I like you, but we ain't admitting all that stuff. But what we do is we walk through life and we get stuck in our mess instead of moving in our mess. Not understanding that if you were the only one on this planet, God would have still got off of that throne and onto that cross and stretched his arms out wide for you and said, it is finished. It is finished for March the 3rd or 6th or 7th, whatever day it is. He is saying it is finished tonight. I need you to get up and I need you to put one foot in front of the other, because we lay in bed, let's admit it. We lay in bed with depression. Oh, Kim, don't go there. Don't go there. Oh, I'm so going there. We will lay in bed with depression because our mother had depression. Because it's generational curses. And we own this stuff and allow the enemy to beat us up every day of our lives with generational curses. That's how come your dad molested you at 4. That's how come your father walked out on you and went and raised another family. Because you're walking through life now and you're not even being able to walk in your calling because you don't feel qualified. Because some counterfeits came into your life and put you on the clearance rack and you let them. when you were created with God's DNA. And God's DNA says you are couture. And it doesn't matter what you've gone through. It doesn't matter if you were nay-naying last night on the bar making money. If you walk up into covenant tonight and say, I'm about to pray. It doesn't matter what happened to me behind closed door. What matters as long as that I keep moving in the mess. Because something about mess, baby, it's almost like manure. Whenever they're building a garden or they're building flowers, they always put manure on these things because it makes them grow. What makes you think you're any different? The manure of your life, the messes of your life, the mistakes that you have made have qualified you with an oil on your life that if you wouldn't have done those crazy decisions or had those storms that you created, you wouldn't understand the empathy of knowing what it feels like to get back up again when you feel like laying down. It's getting up one more time again and pressing towards the mark. You're saying, God, man, I was totally the black sheep of my family. I was raised in United Pentecostal, and my father literally told me my whole life, you can't preach. And I thought for real that like women were only good for birthing babies and cooking. And I didn't want to birth no babies, nor I sure can't cook. And so I was thinking, man, God, you must have been like bored the day you created me and like thought you'd just be funny because, so my whole life I grew up with this image. I mean, my whole life, I think because the enemy knew that at 36 years old, see, at 36 years old, I thought my life was over. At 36 years old, I get married at 17 years old to a man. I'm at Bible school at Rod Parsley's, and I'm singing on his platform and coming home from Israel. Him and Lester Summerall are sitting in the chair beside me, and Rod Parsley says, baby, I feel like he always just believed in me. He said, baby, he said, I see you looking at that piano, boy. He said, and I will not bless that. And I'm thinking, oh, because it's already on like Donkey Kong. And he said, I will never anoint that. He said, because that's not part of your future. He said, so when we get home, he said, I'm moving you in with Mama Parsley. I thought I'd rather go to hell than move in with Mama Parsley because she scared the living heck out of me. And so when we get home and we pull into the apartment complex at World Harvest Bible School, all of a sudden he said, all right, baby girl, we'll see you tomorrow. I want you to meet me in the executive wing. In my head, I'm thinking, you ain't gonna ever see me again. Because the enemy is after you at a very young age, and anywhere he can creep in, it's the little foxes that spoil the vine, because he knows that if I can get you tripped up here, then you'll never get your gravity back to move here. He'll make you feel like God's blessing your neighbor, he's blessing everybody else, and there ain't no way you're ever gonna get your bounce back, because now you're in Covington, you're in wherever we're at, Covington Church in Douglas, Georgia. You are 3 hours from Lenox Square Mall. You live out with the woods, with the cows. Who am I? And so why should I even wake up today? That's what the enemy will do, because God knows that you're going to walk into the love conference. He's like, oh, you're about to walk in that love conference on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you're going to finally get it. Because we can preach at you. You can be a conference serial goer and stand up here and do flips, acrobatic dancing. You can lay on the floor and you can worship like this. I used to do all of this. It does not help. I would lay in my bed, 36 years old, because I had to move. Listen, everything Rod Parsley told me was going to happen, I left in the middle of the night. And I get in my little Fiat and I drive to Atlanta, Georgia. And the next morning, everybody in the church is saying, Kimberly, Pastor Rod has got your name all over the screens. I'm like, well, I ain't there. And what I was doing was I was getting to a place because I didn't have any accountability. Accountability is that thing on the inside of you that when you're about to mess up, see, that's why we don't like friends around us that are truth tellers. We don't want nobody in our life that's going to call us out on nothing. Because when they start calling us out, it makes us feel uncomfortable. We don't want nobody to tell us what we ain't supposed to be doing. So one day we up and one day we down, and you're blaming the devil for everything. The devil's just after my car all the way here. I knew he did not want me to get here and see Groves and Real Talk Kim. He just been after me. The devil's after my car. No, you need an oil change. The devil is after my marriage. No, you need to get little Jerry out of the middle of you and your husband co-sleeping. He's freaking 8. And turn on some Lionel Richie. Hello? Is it me you're looking for? He'll be like, your husband will forget he's been sleeping in the guest room for the last 9 months. He'll be like, wow! In fact, the devil's gonna get some of y'all for character defamation. He didn't do it. We do it. We do it because the enemy can't take us out, so he's trying to wear us out. So we get to a place where we get ourselves stuck and then we're walking through life feeling stuck. But let me just tell some people here at the Love, L-O-V-E conference, you ain't stuck because you ain't no tree. The only reason you're stuck is because you stopped moving. The only reason that you're stuck is because you're looking at social media and letting somebody else give you your identity. Trying to be like somebody else instead of being yourself. Y'all, my whole life, I tried to be an Ann Taylor. When God created me to be a Betsy Johnson. Trying to fit in places that I wasn't supposed to fit into. See, it's not always about becoming anything. It's about unbecoming what you became, trying to fit in places you never had. You weren't supposed to be there anyway. Still mad at God because he didn't heal that relationship that you never asked him if it was the one. You never ask him. But now you begging him to heal that trifling. You married to Satan, got to pretend you're happy. And mad at God. Won't even come to church. Won't even pray. Some of you ain't prayed in forever. Well, he ain't going to listen to me because I'm a bad birdie. And he's standing right there with his arms open wide saying, I knew it was going to happen. I knew you were going to be depressed. I knew that you were going to be angry. I knew that you were going to feel like you're 50 years old and you're sagging and God done forgot about you. And if he don't hurry up, hey, look, I'm black. But I crack. I'm black on the inside. Me. Y'all wouldn't get that because ain't even hardly no blacks in this room. Where the blacks at? Come on, baby. We got 4. Where they at? Hey, booze. Hey, fam. But I'm black. But on the inside, on the inside I'm black. But on the outside I'm white, and white people melt. And I remember telling God, because I walked through, man, I told this dude for 17 years, the one I married when Rod told me not to. I told him for 17 years, man, I don't need no man. I would tell him every day. Because I had these walls. Put my little picture up there. I had built these walls in my life because the enemy knew that I could take a licking and keep on ticking. He knew that I would be able to fall but get back up again. But what happened was I built these walls around my life to keep out my hurt and my pain and the rejection. But yet what I was doing was I was breaking my own heart over and over because I didn't really trust in the God that I knew. I could get in church and sing, fill me up till I overflow. I want to run over. I didn't want to run over. I didn't really want to feel him because I always thought that God was like this. He's a mean father. I always thought that he was looking up in heaven and he was going to get me. And then I looked at this thing right here about personal boundaries and how we walk through life. And we walk through life, and with every single blow, we put another wall up. And then we come up into church and we don't even know the walls that we've built up because we've become so familiar. We've become comfortably broken. Because we don't understand. Everybody wants to be a diamond, but none of us want to get cut. When we start going through something, we want to throw in the towel. When somebody hurts us, we will never trust again. We walk through life bleeding on people that didn't cut us. We walk through life angry and using, man, I'm bipolar. I'm great. You walking around owning this stuff like you're going to win a reward. Well, the therapist told me. Well, the therapist ain't God. See, God said by his stripes you are healed. That means whatever is on your life that you are holding on to and you are letting captivate you instead of God, anything that brings chaos and confusion into your life, it is not God. Because God is a gentle Father. He's the kind of God that even when you're walking through hell, you still can walk through with your head high, your shoulders back. People be like, oh, girl, I don't know how you doing it. How you doing it? How you going through that hell and still worshiping? How you going through that hell and still preaching? Because every time the enemy tells you, girl, you ain't got this. How are you to go preach when your own family's falling apart? There's something on the inside of you that says, devil, I realize thieves don't rob empty vaults. And there's something on the inside of me that when I walk into a room, I don't even have to open my mouth. The wind of God follows me because I worshiped and I praised my way through. See, that's what some of your problem is. You quit talking. And when you do talk, it's telling everybody around you, your little boy, you can't even hug your little boy because he looks like your ex-husband. And you hate your ex-husband. Poor little Jesse did not ask to be y'all's kid. But you're making him pay because you don't really allow God to heal the heart posture of who you are. So we walk around, put my picture back up, leave it back up. Thank you, babies. So we walk around with these boundaries and we come to the love conference and we fake love. But the one thing that I've discovered when I walk through my stuff is that you can't fake love. You can't fake passion. So what do? We start putting these personal boundaries around us and we stop moving in our mess. We can't sleep at night. We got insomnia. Sitting there with panic attacks. Leave it up. I'm coming back. Man, you guys are awesome. Hallelujah. We go through life and we got these panic attacks. And every time something hits us, it's like, instead of being one of those little blow up things where when it hits you, it's got the weight in the bottom, you go like this and back up again. And you should be coming back up again and headbutting your problems. Bring it on. Bring it on, devil. He's saying, oh, there's another storm coming. You're like, bring it on. I am the storm. But instead, we will lay in our beds of depression. Yo, I started preaching. Man, let's see. So 36 years old, I had to move back in with my mom and dad because I told this dude for 17 years, I don't need no man. I woke up one day and didn't have one. I was like, what happened? He said, you don't need no man. And I remember at that season, God started talking to me and he said, Kimberly, he said, because I was begging him, God, heal me. God, heal me. I didn't want to do the work. So I would just say, God, heal me. And God would say, I can't heal you because you put all these walls up and these walls have become your identity instead of me. You walk up into these love conferences and your marriages are still going to hell in a handbasket. You're still doing drugs. One day you're up and one day you're down. One day you're acting crazy. The next day you're fine. It's like all of us are you got a fish on the back of your car trying to tell yourself you're a Christian when you walk and your actions aren't proving any of that. Because we don't really feel that we're validated to get back up again and still be used of God because we stopped moving in our mess. And I would lay in that bed, y'all, and I'd be like, God, take this pain away from me. And I remember God spoke to me and he said, I can't take it away. You got to get up and walk away from it. See, that's our problem. We go to therapists, and I believe in therapists. I believe you can be saved in therapy, and some of y'all need to go to therapy. I'm just saying. But you don't even take your meds so God does the work on the inside of you and stuff. But what we do is we walk through life denying it in such a way that we become comfortable in our brokenness. And then before we know it, we've built all these walls up, and Christians are the worst at it because we build a place like this that should be a hospital. And we got it like a fashion show. We walk up in here and we're faking it, and we ain't touched each other in forever, and we are angry and cussing each other and calling each other out by name and all this kind of stuff because we built these walls up, starting with our mama that couldn't love us appropriately, or our father that touched us before, or that ex-husband that cheated with your best friend, not realizing that rejection was not necessarily someone wanting out of your life, but it was somebody that God needed out of your future. And now we're stuck. And then we got these walls built up around us. That one wall is rigid wall. And I want you to ask yourself as we're looking over these tonight, I never do any slides, so I feel very grown tonight. But this right here, something about painting a picture. Whenever you can ask yourself, oh, girl, that must be my problem. Because then you can start tearing the walls down. How do you tear them down? I surrender all. I surrender all. See, they're sleeping on you. Let them get their rest. Because when you start coming back up again, all these walls begin to fall. And when they fall, you'll be 36 years old and having to move back in with your mom and daddy, and you thinking life is over. And then all of a sudden at 40 years old is when God really comes on the scene and starts doing something in your life. Yo, I was 36 years old and thought my life was over. I started getting myself better. I did everything they said I did. I was the black sheep of the family. I was the one that went and got married. I was raised in United Pentecostal. Said you get divorced, you're going to hell on a slip and slide. And here I am. Every single thing they told me that I was going to be, I was. The labels that people put on you. Those labels that they say to you, you'll never be lovable. You got a 5-finger forehead. You ain't never going to be lovable with your 5 kids with 5 different baby daddy. You ain't never going to have no baby because of the abortions you had in high school. All of these things that you're owning and walking through life with, because the enemy knows that when you walk into the love conference, you're going to take those labels off. And those labels aren't just going to fall off. They're going to slip off because of the oil that was produced while you were being crushed. See, the coolest thing about it is when you realize that you were built for this. Before you were ever even thought in your mother's womb, God knew you were going to be here. He knew that you were going to be stuck in your mess. He knew that you were going to be on your 10th marriage. He knew that you weren't going to be able to buy cheese with your credit. He knew that you were going to be carrying that Gucci bag from your last marriage with nothing in it. He knew that you were going to walk up in here with Spanx on and not be able to breathe. We know who you are. You're sitting there like this. Because that broad made millions of money off those Spanx, but you've got to make them breathe. They hide. And by the time you get them on, it's like spiritually Spanx. You get them things on and you start rolling them up. I refuse to wear them. I'm like, let it clap. Let it clap. I ain't got to take that crap. Let it clap. See, the older you get, the more comfortable you get in your skin. You're like, yeah, what? What? I earned the gray hair. I've earned these lines. Ain't it pretty? But see, we don't get there until we get to a place where we stop caring what people think about us and know what God knows about us. We stop looking at what people think. We realize that rejection was a release, and we don't care anybody that's in our past. We ain't even concentrating on them anymore. Because why? My scripture right here says, forgetting the former things. I'm coming to this slide. It says, forgetting the former things, I do not dwell on the past. God says, I'm doing a new thing. Do you not see it? Nope. We don't see it. Why? Because we got social media telling us different. Do you not see it? He says right here. He says, forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I'm doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not see it? Do you not perceive it? I'm making waves. I'm making waves in the wilderness. He says, I am making streams in the wasteland. He said, you might be on the struggle bus today, but whenever you get to a place where you can worship me through it, I'm going to make some things in your life melt like wax. He said, the problem is you're trying to fix things in your own might. You're over here trying to make sure if I get on that front row, man, I made it. If I walk in and somebody sees me and acknowledges me, then I made it. Because we care as what people think about us. If people look at us, if they wave at us, if they like our picture on Instagram, we will walk around and we'd be like, oh, God, I just left the love conference. Ooh, God's done a thing in me tonight. And you're going to go home and you're going to say, I'm doing a Facebook purge. If you don't see me in your news feed in the morning, you've been deleted. Because I'm sick of the drama. You are the drama. You are the drama. You're like, I ain't got no friends. Everybody hates on me. I'm so awesome. No, you mean. Because people gravitate to awesomeness. See, when you're whole, people gravitate. They like, I will carry your Bible. I will wash your feet. And I ain't washing nobody's feet. I love y'all, but we ain't getting close to them corn feet. Nah. But whenever you got this stuff on the inside of you, you know when people always say, oh, I don't have any friends. I'm always like, because you're not a friend. Because when you get healed, I used to be that girl, man. I used to be that girl. I was that hater. I was the one that would call. I mean, when I'd walk in a room, I'd walk in like this. I would act like you dead if you hurt my feelings. Because I didn't know how to handle the rejection. I didn't understand right here that it says, forget the former things, do not dwell on the past, because I lived in the past. Raised on the church pew. And I lived in the past. I didn't realize God shared this with me when I was walking through some things, even just in the past year, because God did something in my life. At 36 years old, when I moved back in with my mom and dad, y'all, I thought my life was over. I couldn't buy cheese with my credit. I had to go work at Bloomingdale's doing makeup. And the reason I have these glasses on is because my eyebrows are not on fleek. And I ended up getting put in cosmetics, Estee Lauder, because God has a sense of humor. He said, girl, you are ratchet. We need you to get a little righteous, because where I'm going to take you, you ain't going to have time to get ready. Huh? That's what he's saying to some of you. You still are stuck over here in a season in your life because you won't start moving. Because you're over here saying, oh, I can't let nobody see where I am right now. But God's over here saying, I need you to start moving. I need you to start looking in your life and see what are these walls in your life that need to come down. Because these walls right here, the first two will have you stuck like Chuck. They will have you literally living in this bubble and not even getting all that God's created you to have. I had to go get a makeup job, and I was so angry about this. And God took I always say God, but it was really me, because I don't need no man. He did not say that. I did. And he made me go get this job in cosmetics. And I was so angry because I was in special ed my whole life. And I thought I was VIP special. And every single day until 8th grade, every time they would say, all the special kids can go to class, I would get up with that dip in the step like, whoa. Because I thought I was VIP because nobody else ever left but me. And I thought, well, I'm VIP until the 8th grade. Then I had this teacher. That's why you can't never be in a job that you hate. This 8th grade teacher said, all the learning disability kids can go to class. And I just sat right there. She said, Kim, that would be you. I said, no, ma'am, I'm waiting for VIP. She said, you are VIP, learning disability. But it's because the enemy knew, let me get her trapped in school. It's going to take her a little bit longer if she ever gets it. Because, see, the enemy's a punk. He knows the call of God on your life. He knows that you're going to be the one in your family to do things ain't nobody else ever done. He knows that you're going to be petty, but then you're going to get holy. He knows that you're going to be bitter, but then you're going to get better. He knows it. He knows it. He said, if I can just keep you trapped. See, he knows that God can turn your scars into stars. He knows that God will use your wounds to come into wisdom in your life. He will use your pain as your pulpit. God is a God of justice. God is a God of more than enough. It don't matter if you're 47, 57, 67. It ain't never too late for my God. When God comes on the scene. See, you thought because the curtain had closed, the production was over. But God is saying, no, I had to close the curtain in order to set up for the next scene. I was over here while you were healing. I was getting you better. And I'm going to put you over in cosmetics, because in cosmetics, you're going to have to learn to love people. I hated people. I was a bitter Betty. And I had to go work in cosmetics. And I'm thinking, oh, dear God, I was in UPC. I mean, me and God, like, all I had was God. Because, you know, people would ride with you in the car as long as you got gas. But the minute you run out of gas, where they at? Like, you know what I'm saying? All my friends done exited the building. And I'm laying in my mom and daddy's bed, and I ever heard God's voice. They sent me to Bible class, to camp every year. And I remember they sent me to camp, United Pentecostal camp. And we'd all lay on the floor shaking, because that's what our parents did. And everybody would get up. Oh, I heard Jesus tonight. I'm thinking, I did not hear Jesus. All the way, 13, 14, 15, 20, 25, singing on the platforms. I ain't heard Jesus. Everybody's hearing Jesus. People try to pray over me and then try to push me down. I'd be like, I ain't falling. I never heard from Jesus. And I was thinking that Jesus was supposed to be like, Kimberly. I mean, he did go, he did make like billions of people, some with no butts, some with big butts, some with all of us different fingerprints. He put the stars on the moon and everything into place and like bingo status. I just thought for sure, he gonna be like, Kimberly. I mean, that's how I needed to hear him. I needed him to slam the door shut in my face. And laying in that bed, and God's telling me I'm having a little talk with Jesus. Me and him became best friends. He started talking to me like I had never been talked to before, because a lot of times when people walk out of your life, it's because they needed to walk out of your life. It's almost like a rocket booster. Wow. On the side of two rockets. They got these rocket boosters that are put on the sides of the shuttle. And at a certain altitude, these rocket boosters are designed to fall off. That's your life. Anything that's fallen off of your life was a rocket booster that was supposed to be in your life to take you to a certain level. And then when you get to a certain level, those rocket boosters are designed to fall away. If they hang on too long, it will hold the gravity of your next level and it will cause you to be grounded. That's why when we begin to try to stabilize what God's shaking us free from, we're holding up and sabotaging where we're supposed to go. We're trying to give CPR to dead situations when God is saying, if it ain't breathing on its own, it's not supposed to go in that next destiny with you. But see, what we do instead of understanding that God knows this is trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him. That means even when you don't hear him, even when it feels like he's on vacation, I'm still like, I can't hear you, but I'm going to keep on moving because you said you're a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. And Lord, I know that you're either going to catch me when I fall or you're going to teach me how to fly. And I know you ain't going to wreck your reputation. So I'm going to get on Facebook and I'm going to prophesy every day of my life, even when I ain't got it together and everybody thinks I'm talking to them when I'm really talking to myself, because I realize that I don't have to have it all together in order to move. No, I gotta get it all. I gotta move towards God, and then I get it together. That's why you can't listen to these voices in your head. And I remember laying in bed that night and I thought, oh dear God, oh dear Lord, like what am I gonna do? Like I couldn't even sleep that night thinking I gotta go do makeup tomorrow. And I don't know, I even was on Google all night long. And I was trying to learn how to do. I was on YouTube doing editorials and I just couldn't even figure out how to put eye makeup on. And I'm thinking, dear Jesus, like, what am I gonna do? And he said, figure it out. Because me and him were on these terms now where when he would talk, I'd be like, oh, I hear you now, man. I realized that he talks in that still small voice. He talks in that moving of your spirit. It's why the chatter has to get out of your life. That's why you have to stop living in fear, false evidence appearing real, because God is not a spirit of fear, but of sound mind. And we got to get to a place where we realize this ain't where I'm staying. I ain't staying here anymore. I need you, Lord. I need you, Lord. There's a hunger. See, sometimes you can't even pray, but you can sing. You can turn on some worship music and you can begin to talk to God in specifics. In this very seasons, the season where I started hearing God more clearly, in the season of me sitting in my mom and daddy's house in a 10 by 10 bedroom, the size of my old walk-in closet, is where I was laying in that bed at night. And I just began to say, God, I don't know what you're going to do, but I ain't leaving this room until you do something in my life. What changed? I changed. I got to a place where I didn't just want to fall on the floor. I wanted to see some evidence in my life. I didn't want to be on Ambien and having to walk in my sleep to eat my lunch and waking up wondering where my lunch is and it's all over my face because Ambien makes you eat in your sleep. I didn't want to need Xanax to get up in the morning. I didn't want to hate my life so much that I would need Xanax to get up. No, I didn't want to walk in church and fake it anymore. I wanted to get to a place where I truly felt God, but it wasn't going to get there until I broke these walls down. I wasn't going to get to the place where God had me. At 36, literally thinking my life was over. 37, 38, I kept telling God, God, you got me in Fayetteville, Georgia. It was like Douglas. And he had me at my mother and my father's church out in the woods with the goats and the horses. And he'd made me leave this metropolitan city. And here I am living back at my mom and dad's. All the dignity left my life. He took my Mercedes from me and put me in a hoopty. For all you mature people, a hoopty is a broke down car. And it was a knockoff Bentley. It was a 300 Chrysler. That bigger bear looked like a Bentley on the outside, but on the inside, that thing was toe up on the flow up. But see, God is strategic. He said, I'm going to let you walk through this, because if you didn't walk through this, I couldn't get you to that place I need you to go. If I didn't keep you in that broke down car, you wouldn't be sitting on the side of the road, bored with smoke coming out of your car, and do a video that's going to go viral. If I didn't put you a whole hour away from your house at Lenox Square Mall doing makeup, you would never put preaching on, and you would never get, because I didn't even know if 5 animals went into the ark or 2. And he said, where I'm about to take you, I need you to use this as Bible school. See, this is a problem. Some of y'all hating your season. That's the very season that's going to carry you into your next purpose. There's purpose. But see, right now, your character can't keep up with your purpose. Right now, what you're praying for, you can't even keep up with it in the spiritual realm. And so you're over here waiting for a big cosmic miracle in the sky. And God's saying, I'm waiting for you to do the very last thing that I told you to do. See, what he'll do is he'll say, you're going to go do makeup, because as you're doing makeup, you're going to start loving people. And I need you to love little bitty thumbnails, because I'm going to open social media up for you. And when I open social media up for you, these people know it if you're faking it. So I need you to for real love people. He said, so I'm going to put you in cosmetics, and I'll never forget. I Googled it all night long. How to do makeup. I still didn't know how to do it. That next day, I walk out from my cosmetic department, and I walk in up to the counter, and I see this woman sitting in my chair, and she's bent over like this, and she's about 80 years old. I'm thinking, oh, dear God. And I said, God, you got jokes. And I walked up to her, and she said, I need you to do my makeup. I'm thinking, why? And all of a sudden, something just started coming over me. Very first makeover I ever did. And I remember I sat there, and I was doing her makeup, and I had my little brush with nothing on it. And I said, girl, you were so beautiful that when God was creating you, he was bored. And when he was doing you, he did you in such a way you don't even need any mascara. Because you've got eyelashes that are like feathers. And your skin is so beautiful. You don't even need any foundation. You just need a little bit of bronzer. 45 minutes, I proceed to tell this woman how beautiful she is and how God thinks she is the apple of his eye, because I did not know how to do makeup, and I needed to fake it until I made it, because I was rigid and I was porous, and God knew I got to get you somewhere where you are at least at a starting point. That next day, I start thinking, I walk in there a little bit different. I was in my navy blue polyester. Navy blue is my least favorite color on the planet. And I'm scooting through the place looking like a Graham's biscuit can when you pop it and you go, that was what I looked like in this polyester that didn't bend or breathe. And I'm walking out there, but something happened. I started walking out to that counter all the way to work that day for a whole hour. I'm in my knockoff Bentley bumping into some TD Jakes. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. See, I didn't even realize that something was taking place in my life in just a matter of 24 hours. I would go, pause, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. I'd go, get ready, pause, get ready, get ready, get ready. God'd be like, what are you doing? I said, Lord, you told me to learn how to preach. He said, I didn't tell you to be TD Jakes. I told you to get the word in you. See, something was happening in a matter of 24 hours in my life, because I was ready, because I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was sick and tired of using excuses of my past, thinking I was going to hell on a slip and slide. I knew that the only way that God could use me if I availed myself 100% and did not hide who God created me to be. I got so saved in that week that if a mosquito would have bit me, it would have gotten saved. I was walking through Bloomingdale's touching people. Something was happening on the inside of me because I was cultivating. That next Friday, 7 days later, I remember Eleanor come walking in the store. And I looked at her, I said, Eleanor, I said, dear God, you cannot bring your makeup back because I need my job. My kids need their mother to have a job. And I remember she said, girl, I ain't bringing it back. I got a proposition for you. She said, every Friday, I'm going to come sit in your chair. Because whatever you did last week stirred something up on the inside of me. She said 10 years ago, my husband walked out on me after 38 years of marriage. And she said, my life walked out with him. And she said, I've been going to a therapist every single week. But when I sat in your chair, she said, you did something to me that nothing has ever done. I've been walking around. She said, I left last week and I opened all the blinds and I cut on the lights in my house. I took my moo-moo off and I started putting makeup on. That little lip gloss you put on me, I started wearing it everywhere I went. And she said, every Friday, if you don't mind, I'm going to come back in here and I am going to sit right here and I'm going to let you do some more makeup on me. What was happening? There was something that was being produced in my life that if I'd have never walked through that divorce, I would never have had empathy. If I wouldn't have started moving in my mess, I would have never been able to walk into my purpose. If I would have never lost everything and couldn't buy cheese with my credit, I wouldn't have got to the place where I began to shift my perspective. I was so sick of romaine noodles. They were salty and they were gummy and I hated them, but that's all I could afford. I started getting so blessed by God that I would go home and I would get me some hot dogs and some Tony Sastry and I'd put it in those noodles and I'd say, boys, come on downstairs. We are having papados for dinner. I started shifting the way I was thinking about things all by myself with me and God. No bishop laid hands on me. No Cleo prophesied to me. It was me and God making a decision. I am sick and tired of being here and I need a miracle. Forgetting those things which are behind and pressing forward. Moving forward. If you're still stuck, it's because you want to be stuck. Nothing changes. You can come to these conferences and Groves can have you walking in your socks. People can spit on you. They can prophesy over you. But for years, I was prophesied over every single conference. I had a magnet for prophecies. And here I am at 36 years old, thinking my life is over. But because I started shifting my perspective, Allison, I would get in that car and I would listen to preaching and I would get some podcasts. We got everything. You don't even need a therapist. Good if you have a therapist, but you don't even really need one. You've got podcasts that are free. You can turn off Netflix and chill. And you can turn on some Jesus. And you can allow someone to yell at you. I will yell at you. I've got every platform on the planet, podcast, YouTube, and I am the yeller. And I will yell at you, get up! Stop talking about it. It's over. He walked out with your best friend, good. The trash took itself out. Forgetting those things which are behind, pressing. I ain't got it right yet. I still can't buy a house yet. But I'm going to. Devil, you should have messed with somebody else. Because I took a licking and I kept on ticking. Boom, shaka, laka, boom. You ain't seen nothing yet. Because as long as I got a pulse, you got a plan. You learn to look in that mirror. You hate your thick thighs. You used to love your thick thighs. But you got involved with a counterfeit that say, ain't nobody gonna ever love your thick thighs. Shh, 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 shh. That's rubbing together, guys. But something happens when you start falling in love with yourself. Then you can be thanking God for those thick thighs because they caught the cell phone from falling in the toilet a time or two. You start shifting your perspective. You start realizing I had to go through that sickness or else I couldn't pray for people and believe that if God can do it for me, he can do it for you. See, if you ain't got no limp, I don't want you hanging around with me. I need to know you got a limp, baby. I need to know that when hell hits your door, you learn how to bounce back. You like, what, devil? You should have taken me out when you could have, because I got a power. I got an anointing. I got some oil. If you walk by me, you're going to catch it. If you wouldn't have walked through that addiction, you wouldn't have nothing to talk about. If you would have not lost that marriage, see, some of you over here beating yourself up. If I would have just done this or if I'd have done that. But see, sometimes you got to take an apology you never get. Some of y'all mad as fire right now because of something that left your life, not realizing that they had to leave your life in order for you to go to that place you need to go to. They were those rocket boosters. They were supposed to fall off of your life at a certain altitude, and sometimes that's even your real daddy, that all of a sudden God just used him to get you here. But once he got you here, all of a sudden he left your life and went and raised another family. It was supposed to happen that way, because then if he would have stayed in your life, you would have repeated cycles that you didn't need to repeat. God said, I got a calling and a destiny on your life, and it ain't got nothing to do with your family. But see, we hold on to it, then we get rigid. We start keeping others away. We stop asking for help because we don't feel good enough. We don't want to put anybody out. So we don't build community. We're bedside Baptist. We sit at home because we're too discouraged to get up and go to church. And see, these conferences are necessary, because these conferences are where you come and you find the loudest one in the building, the one everybody else is sitting away from, the one that's up here doing the acrobats. See, the reason he's doing all that is because he made it through something. See, so you got to get by the person that's acting the craziest. Why? Because they made it through something. See, because your praise is a little bit different whenever you've gone to hell and come out on fire. See, you got to get around some people, and it's important to come. If you don't have a church home, you better come to Covenant. You got to get in a place and build a community. And when you get by somebody that's acting crazy, you act like you holding them. Oh, I don't want them to hurt themselves. See, everybody in the church thinks you're just trying to be nice, but really you're hijacking some of their faith. You're like, whatever you got, I want some of it. I'm tired of being pitiful. I'm tired of being angry. I'm tired of being hurt. I'm tired. I need to get by that person that got back up again. See, look at him, happy as all get out. You know why? He's probably lost everything. He probably created his storm, and he realized it, because there ain't nothing like healing whenever you get to a place where you can acknowledge something. It ain't his fault. It ain't her fault. It ain't my daddy's fault. It ain't my mama's fault. Listen, what they did to you may not be your fault. The pain that you're feeling may not be your fault, but the healing is your responsibility. You get rigid. You keep others out. You don't ask for help. You'd rather struggle and complain. I'm a single mama. I just enjoy being a victim in my own story. You complain about everything. You got a problem for every problem, because you are staying in your hell like you're going to win a reward for it. All right? Instead of saying, everybody got a story, but mine's about to be a bestseller. Oh, yes, I went through that. Oh, yes, I went. Go on and Google me. Yeah, let me just tell you everything I did. I will go ahead and help you out, because I need you to know that God will use people with the worst past to create the best futures. It says, we're rigid. We keep others out. We don't ask for help. We're protective of our information. People can Google you. What are you hiding? Well, I don't want them to know I was swinging on a pole. I don't want them to know I've been to jail 5 times. I don't want them to know that I've had 5 abortions. You're the very one that God wants to use. Because you've got some free life college and you don't got to pay no student loans back. We seem detached. We got these walls, man. We ain't got no friends. We're detached. We avoid intimacy. We don't like to hug people. Now we got a good excuse, of coronavirus. Touch your neighbor. Go to hell! We avoid close relationships. We avoid possibility of rejection. We keep everyone out. What you gonna tell me? Because the enemy's got you thinking you're the only one going through it. I'm lonely. So doggone lonely. I'm broken. God knows. He's got you a community right here of people that will love the hell out of you. That will call you. Be like, yo, where you at, boo? These 2 right here ain't slept in 5 days. They've been at people's houses. I'm thoroughly evaluating myself as a pastor. Because you ain't got my digits. Because I need you to know how to pray for yourself. You build these walls of rigid, and then if you're not careful, you'll be porous too. Where you overshare personal information that you won't let go of. That's why some of you ain't married. You go on a date with somebody, he already knows you want 5 kids, you want to stay at home. He's thinking, dear God, it's the first date. You overshare personal information. You keep talking about something you've gone through and wonder why you can't get out of it. It's because you keep talking about it, because life and death and the power of your words. A lot of your life looks exactly like it looks because you keep prophesying it. Oh, I got a knot. You come to church, Pastor Kim, can you pray for me? I'm like, what's wrong with you? Oh, girl, I got cancer. Oh, you got cancer? Did the doctors tell you got cancer? No. I don't know about it yet, but I just feel it. You know, my mama died of it, and my aunt died of it, and I know it's coming on me. So I'll be like, Father, I thank you right now in the name of Jesus that she is healed and delivered. Clear her up in the name of Jesus. The next Sunday, you're going to walk in with the rocker. I'm be like, oh, girl, what happened? Girl, I just can't even hardly move. I'm so weak. I'm just so weak. You're like, can you pray for me? And I'm like, I honestly had a lady do this at my church. She said, I just feel so weak, so weak. The next time she come to church, this time she's in a wheelchair. I'm like, girl, have they given you the doctor's report? You dying? Are we planning your funeral? What's going on? No, I just feel it. Because we get comfortably broken and we like the attention that broken gets us, so we don't want to get healed. There she goes. She come in with the wheelchair, and I'm like, girl, you dying? She's like, well, no, I ain't gone to the doctor yet. She said, but I just need you to pray for me right now. I said, heal her or kill her? Some point you got to get up. Some point you got to put some people in the balcony. Some point you got to look at all the people in your life. When all of y'all look the same and miserable, you need to get a new group of friends. You need to get some people that won't let you stay in your funk. You need to get around some people that shift happens in their presence. You need to get around some people that whenever you walk into a room, everything shifts. They push you to breakthroughs and not breakdowns. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's not fair. But the enemy fighting me because I got some oil on me. So bring it on, you punk. So we overshare personal information, keep talking about it, prophesying. We struggle to say no, wearing ourselves out. No's a complete sentence. We're easily influenced by others. Social media. We feel responsible for everybody else's happiness. Whew. We get very involved in the problems of others. Holy Lord Almighty. Your friends can't even come pray because when you do, you're like, I know, loudmouth chunky butt already on the phone. Telling everybody, girl, she was at the altar crying her little eyes out tonight. I know she got some problems. She needs to be moved to the balcony and love from a distance. I love you, but I love you from up there, boo. Boo, bye. I love you. Oh, yeah, hey, you good. Good. You fear rejection, and you let anyone in your life. You coming at me praying for me? If I know your life's hell, see, y'all over here wanting people to validate you that ain't even valid. You asking people how to swim that's drowning because you ain't gotten on your knees at all. You laid in bed every night. Oh, Lord, read my lips. I'm so broken. I need you just to read my lips. You're laying in bed every night, so angry at your ex. You're like, kill him! Kill him with a train! You want him to die with a train because you know if he gets hit with a train, he's splat. And the devil, and hey, Benny Hinn can't even bring him back to life. You're like, boy, bye. You shouldn't have messed with me. I told you God was going to get you. But you can do this. You can break this wall down. Break this wall down. And you can walk into the healthy boundaries. It's a choice. It's not just a genie in a bottle. It's going to be like one day, no. It's even when I don't see you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. I might fall today, but I'm gonna get back up tomorrow. I had a bad day, but I'm gonna get back up tomorrow. You never stop. Y'all doing it. You never stop working. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Boom, 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 boom. Prophesying until the negative falls off, till the rigid falls off, till the porous falls off, till I can get into a place where I'm in the back of the line and I'm moving to the front of the line. I'm working at Bloomingdale's at 36. At 40 years old, my ministry just gets started. 36, I thought my life was over. At 40, he let me go full-time ministry because I was sitting in the car. I told y'all, mosquito would have bit me, it got saved. I'm sitting in that broke down Bentley during Christmas on the side of the road in 75. All these cars passing me by and the smoke starts rolling out of my car. And I'm like, oh God, I wanted to kick the car so bad, but something came over me. And all I thought was, Broadway, I got my own smoke machine. That smoke is billowing out of my car. And I'm thinking, yes, Broadway. I said, hello, awesome people. Are you sitting on the side of the road feeling like God's forgotten about you? You want to give up? You ain't going to give up. You going to get up. Upload. Devil, every time you got me sitting on the side of the road, I'm going to do a video. 5 days I did a video. Why? Because I was trading in my rigid, my porous, for healthy boundaries. I was learning how to communicate to myself. I was learning how to communicate to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. I knew how to play. I knew how to get in that place where I could work with other people. I knew on day 5, my video went viral. I thought, oh dear God, Facebook's punking me. I went from 600 friends to 150,000 overnight. I was like, oh dear God. I'm still at my mom and daddy's house sitting in the roof. But I've been prophesying, see, like I decree and declare over your life, today is your shift. And I didn't realize it, but as I was prophesying these things, it was working for my good. Because Romans 8:28 said God's working all things together for your good. He's using what you're going through now for your good. And that video went viral. So at 40 years old, I got to quit. And I got to go full-time ministry. 36, I thought my life was over. At 40, I got to go full-time ministry. At 42, special ed. If you read my Facebook statuses tonight, you're like, what in the world are you trying to say? Because there ain't no commas. But at 42, I wrote my very first book, and I didn't know how to edit it. But honey, God allowed this woman to come in my hymn box. She said, real talk, Kim, you are so powerful, but can you please push spell check before you push send? I said, girl, I got a book. You must be a grammar police. You want to edit it? My whole book got edited for free. But here's what God will do. Here's what God will do. 40 years old, I got to go full-time ministry. I got to quit Bloomingdale's, $13 an hour. 42, I wrote my very first book. Not a family member in my family bought that book because they're like, girl, bye. Like, you are ratchet. With a little bit of righteous. Tupac and Proverbs 31 mix. But see what God will do. 1 ounce of obedience will do more for you than all the prayer in the world. It's getting back up again even when you can't really hold your balance yet, and when you really don't know what you're saying, but you know now that Noah had one animal and one animal. He had 2 and not 4. You start just talking. You start just allowing your light to be a shining light. You start realizing that you're coming out of your depression and you're walking out of breaking generational curses in your family. You start realizing that the trajectory shifted in your family. So 40 years old, I go full-time ministry. 42, I write my first book, and I'd sold $30,000 in the first 3 months without one family promoting it. Now they all work for me. It went bestseller. 46, I started my podcast. 47 is when I realized that my life's just beginning. And you thought it was too late. You thought your life was over. Couldn't buy cheese with my credit at 40. Because you lose everything, including your dignity. But I learned how to love people doing makeup. If I wouldn't have walked through my divorce, I wouldn't know how to pray over myself. If I wouldn't have walked through my divorce, people wouldn't have walked out of my life, and I had to know how to depend on Jesus and not people. I was laying in bed at 36, 37, 38, 39. And I remember I was doing that quiz. I can have my piano player. There was this quiz on MySpace, and it was 25 things that I love about you. And I wanted to do that quiz so bad. I wanted to know 25 good things about me. He said, what's your favorite color? I couldn't even tell you what my favorite color was. What's your favorite food? I didn't know what my favorite food was. I laid in that bed that night and cried my eyes out. I cried so hard that at that moment when I left it all in that bed, I let all that unforgiveness go. 7 days later, little boy, I thought I messed up the worst. Because I was the mama that would lay in bed depressed, crying over a relationship that sucked for 17 years. If my house would have caught on fire, my boys would have let me burn up. Because I was mean as Corella DeVille. And laying in that bed, I asked God for 25 things about me. 7 days later, he didn't just give me 25 things, but my little boy Lincoln brings me a poem and hands it to me. And it's 35 things that I love about you. Number 1, he used to always tell me, Mother, be quiet. When I hit a goal, shh. You're always the loudest one at the game when you embarrass me. He'd hit the goal. And I'd be like, wow. Number 1 said, I love you, Mama, because you were the loudest one at my basketball games. Number 6, this is how God feels about you. Number 6, he said, I love you, Mama, because you conquered hell in high heels. See, I thought divorce had ruined me. I thought my mistakes were final. But in one 8-hour period, I realized that everything I thought had taken me off of the couture rack and put me on the clearance rack was finale. Conquering hell in high heel, mama, daddy. See, the way we see ourselves is not the way God sees us. Conquering hell in high heel was, mama, you walked through something that would take most people out, but now we're getting to watch you loving people all over the world. My prayer, y'all, in that process was, God, I want whenever I say I love you to people, I want them to say, I know you do. Because I hated people. Now loving you is my favorite hobby on the planet. These little thumbnails all over the world, I'll say, man, I love you. Now y'all are like, man, I know you do. I feel it. I have an uncanny ability and anointing on my life to make you feel like you're my BFF. Why? Because he uses what breaks you. He uses your rigid and your porous, and he heals you from it, but you still have something to talk about. Because you got to move in your mess. 2 weeks ago, my little boy, I've written 4 bestsellers. Nobody in my family's ever written a book. My daddy, the biggest church he ever pastored was 20 white old bald people. God kept telling me in my brokenness, Kim, you live so nobody believes it, and I'll vindicate you. The very church that I walked out of, peace out, Rod Parsley. 4 years ago, my offices get a call. It's Rod Parsley, his office. They said, we'd like Real Talk Kim to come preach at Dominion Camp Meeting. The camp meeting I used to live for, and when he would walk into a room, he would be like, ah, Jesus walked in. And I remember God spoke to him and he said, I told you, 40, you thought your life was over. 45, Rod Parsley calls you and asks you to come preach, and you're the only girl on the flyer. Preach, women can't preach, huh? He said, I'm restoring. And I used to pray, I don't want what I lost. I'm a bad mamma jam, and I ain't scared of nothing. In fact, the devil's so scared of me, he looks under that bed every night to see if I'm under it. My little boy put up he's 24 years old now. My oldest is 26. And those little boys are so proud of me. So proud of me. They get jobs because they just tell everybody, I'm Real Talk Kim's son. They get a job. This broken woman laying in a bed, mad at the world, porous and rigid. The healing brought forth healthy. My little boy put up a picture. He walked in Barnes & Noble. He said, how many of your mamas are staring at you from the shelf when you go buy highlighters? And he showed my book. What am I telling you? You're walking into a season where God is about to take you from the back of the line to the front of the line. Where every time you get hit with a bad report and you feel your life is over, God said, this is just another ounce of oil on you. I don't know what you walked in with tonight. But we can have an incredible conference with the best preachers on the planet. But unless your heart posture shifted towards God, unless you stop and you let people off of the wheel, there's some of y'all that are angry at some things that have happened in your life. You are mad, but God used those things. He said in Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans that I have for you, saith the Lord, plans to bless you and not harm you, give you a future and a hope. He says in Ephesians 3:20 that he's going to do exceedingly abundantly more than you could ever ask or think. If you're in this room and you got rigid walls around you and porous walls around you, all you got to do is surrender it all to God and say, when I walk in my house tonight, I'm not picking this back up again. 3 years ago, I was struggling, man. Because just because you know Jesus don't mean you ain't going to struggle. Some of y'all just need to have a good old meltdown. You have a meltdown and you get back up again. You stop, you put people that keep bringing up your past in your past. Stop it. Stop going around people that keep breathing death over you. Go around people that talk the God in you and see the king and the queen in you. I remember I was preaching at this conference. I was laying hands on everybody, and people were falling out in the spirit. And I remember I went home that night because the enemy's always after you. It's always some warfare, but then you finally get to a place where you're just like this, whatever. You just get back up again, and you got more oil than ever. And I remember about 3 years ago, I was laying in my bed, and I started feeling my arms tingle. I was like, oh, dear God, don't you ever go Google what your symptoms are. Dr. Google will have you dead. And I said, why is my arm tingling? It said, get to the hospital immediately. If it's the left arm tingling, you are about to have a stroke. I thought, oh! I get myself in that car and I'm driving myself to the hospital and I'm feeling that thing just magnified. I can't breathe. My chest. I didn't even park the car. I left it outside of the emergency room. The night before, I was just laying hands on people. Oh, God. And here I'm, I fall. I run into the hospital, and I fall over the front. And I'm like, She said, what's wrong? I said, I'm tired. Stroke. She said, what's your name? I said, Dad. She goes, ma'am, what's your social security number? I just saw that woman wasn't moving, and so I just proceeded to die. I went, and all I heard was God saying, what are you doing? I said, I am coming home, Elizabeth. He said, girl, you ain't coming home, but you about to be $10,000 in the hole because you can't get your mind under control. You ain't dying. If you were dying, you wouldn't even know you were dying anyway. You'd be dead. All I heard was $10,000. I said, oh my God, there's been a miracle in Piedmont, Fayette. Stand up on your feet. I ain't never had a panic attack another day in my life because I know $10,000. Now I know how to lay hands on myself because the same power that raised Jesus from the dead lives on the inside of me and you, boo. You got the power, the same power that raised Jesus from the dead. Come out! Whatever you walked in with tonight, that thing that's been holding you back, your mind, your heart. If you're in this room and you say, Kim, I'm porous, I'm rigid, I'm angry, I'm jealous, I want you to come down here as quick as you can. And here's what's going to happen. As you come out of your chair, things are going to start falling off of your life. You ain't going to walk out of this building angry. You're not going to walk out depressed. You're not going to walk out depressed. Honey, you ain't going to walk out oppressed. You're not going to walk out negative. You're not going to lay in your bed tonight with insomnia. Tonight, you're leaving it here. Your money ain't going to be funny. See, a critical spirit brings forth poverty. Come on, there's more. You're about to get your superpower tonight. You always thinking people talking about you on social media. Girl, bye. Boy, bye. You ain't got time for that. Come on, run. Your marriage is going to hell in a handbasket. Get down here. Come on. You're angry. You're jealous. Your mama loved your sister more than you. Whatever it is that you're holding on to, you're gonna leave it right here at this altar. And when I tell you, if God can do it for me, and y'all, it's been 6 years. 6 years ago, I was at Bloomingdale's. 6 years ago. But I came to a conference like this. I came to a conference like this, and I said, enough is enough. Tired of being lost in my own feelings. I'm tired of wishing to God I'd have done better in my life. I wish I wouldn't have slept with people that weren't my spouse. Y'all, you've got so much power on you that you can shift your trajectory just like that. Your marriage can be healed just like that. If your marriage is in trouble, get down here. I'm telling you something. Stop caring what the neighbor thinks about you. Telling you, get down here. There's a miracle. Why am I telling you to come to the altar? I'm telling you to come to the altar because there's a miracle whenever whatever's hidden is in the light. It can't steal your joy no more. Come on, get down here. Whatever you're holding on to, there's still some more. There's still some more. See, when you expose it, it's letting people know it ain't got that power over me anymore. I'm walking out of this place with a new confidence. If you got an addiction, get down here. You got an addiction that has taken over your life, get down here. If you're negative, get down here. We got to get all that trash off of you. Yelling at your kids, get down here. You got a problem. We're going to get you fixed right now. You ain't going to need no therapist when you go home. You can give all your therapist money in the offering because you're going to be delivered. I'm giving it to you. Come on, get down here. Get down here. If you're pitiful, if you're a victim in your own story, get down here. Get down here. Get down here. There was an elephant and a dog. And the elephant and the dog got pregnant at the same time. 2 years down the road, the dog looked at the elephant and said, "Are you sure that you're pregnant? We got pregnant at the same time. And I've already delivered 3 litters. And you still got 1 baby in you? Are you sure that you're pregnant?" That elephant said, "Let me just tell you something. There's something that you need to know. What I carry ain't a dog. What I carry is an elephant. And when my elephant hits the ground, the earth trembles in admiration. What I carry changes the world. It might have taken you a little bit longer, but what you're carrying ain't no dog. What you're carrying ain't just a simple calling. What you carry ain't just a normal life. You carry something that when you come out of this thing, the earth is going to tremble in admiration. When you walk across the street, the earth is going to watch and stare at you. When you come out of this divorce, the earth is going to say, how in the world did this person come out of this thing? When you come out of this cancer, when you come out of this heartbreak, let go of that affair. Let go of that anger. Let go of whatever it is that's been holding you back. And leave it right here. Lift your hands up as high as you can. And here's what I need you to do. I need you to think right now what you got to leave here. Feeling lonely, feeling forgotten, feeling like you don't measure up. If you got an addiction, the only reason you got an addiction is because you're trying to take care of something that ain't yours. You got to let God heal you from the inside out. If you've had an affair, leave it here. You serve a God that's got spiritual amnesia. He don't remember nothing you did yesterday. And you got to get yourself free because there's something on the inside of you that's tried to keep you bound for so long. All you guys from that place, what's it called? Canaan land. That's your Canaan land, baby. You went to Canaan land and walked into Covenant to the Love Conference, and this is your birthday. This is your birthday. You're gonna be loud and proud. It might have ruined your marriage. That addiction might have ruined your relationships. That addiction might have taken your house. That affair might have lost your family. But baby, your comeback game is strong. Your comeback game is strong. So lift up your hand and say, Father, forgive me for letting anything make me feel like that I wasn't worth your mercy and grace. Father, I'm free. From every ounce of anything that is not of you, I'm free. Come on, you can't say it pitiful either. Y'all can't do this. Long gone are the days. That's old. That's old. No, you gotta be bad. You gotta be bad for Jesus. Say, Father, I give you permission to come in my life, to be my God, my Savior. You are the GOAT, the greatest of all time. You're my King of Kings. You're my Lord of Lords. I say yes to you. I say yes to your call. Heal me. Heal me. Heal me. Heal me. It ain't over. It ain't over. It's just beginning. My life is just beginning. Lord, take away these memories. Take away this anger. Take away this betrayal. Live in me. I say yes to you. Let me be an earth shaker. Let me be a mountain shifter. Let me be a game changer. You can trust me, God. You can trust me, God. You can trust me, God. Thank you for healing. In Jesus' name.